This is the story of a girl who lived in a faraway land.
And he's not just saying that to sound poetic.
More precisely, deep in the wild heart of Africa. On a big 5-game reserve where lions roam and December burns bright. While others dream of snow and firesides, she wakes to birdsong, sunshine, and the angry cries of baboons. And this is how she found Christmas spirit in a place where snow never falls.
Because the spirit of Christmas travels far and wide.
Indeed. Welcome to her African Christmas.
Hi. It has been a wild morning. I actually wanted to record this intro a long time ago, but the bush had other plans. So I heard a helicopter and I didn't think much of it because every now and again they do a census where they count the animals. But this helicopter wasn't going away and it just started getting louder, and then we started hearing these noises that sounded a bit like sirens and the thumping. Turns out they were darting an elephant just outside of our camp. Like, what are the chances out of the entire reserve that it just happened to be outside our camp? Anyway, after that, Nikita found a Mozambique spitting cobra outside her bedroom, so then there was this whole rush to try and catch the snake. We didn't actually end up getting it. But here I am now. Or if you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Kayla and I live on a big 5-game reserve in Africa, if you couldn't already guess. And I thought I'd bring you guys along for a few Christmassy days in the life, but I want to do an African twist on things. So I want to make some Christmas cookies and do some decorating. I don't actually know where to start, but I think I'm going to start by showing you guys the footage from this morning, and then we'll get festive. Why is it sticking up like that?
So here we are at the end of our garden, and the reason they were tranquilizing the elephant was so that they could give it a tracking collar, which is mainly used for tracking and research purposes. No, but I don't think this elephant's been a problem. We haven't heard of him at all. And this was when my dad was trying to catch the Mozambique spitting cobra a few minutes ago. Okay, now that you have seen what a crazy day I have had so far, I'm going to go and hunt for a Christmas tree. And you're probably thinking, Kayla, what do you mean you're going to go and look for a Christmas tree? Well, there are a few Christmas traditions which I don't think make as much sense in the Southern Hemisphere, specifically decorating a pine tree. So what my family does is we go pick a nice branch from the garden and we decorate that instead, because we don't even get pine trees here, and personally, this is controversial, but I think decorating a stick actually might look a bit nicer. So I'm gonna go and pick out a stick for my bedroom, and then I'm also gonna go and harvest some bush willows because I want to make some ornaments out of those. And then I am going to decorate it, and then I'll show you guys how I make the ornaments. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed the woodlands kingfisher in the background. I have been waiting all season for this bird to arrive, and now that it's finally here, it just makes me so happy, and I just wanted to point that out for you guys. But anyway, let's go and harvest some bush willows. Actually, now that I think about it, it's a little scary being so close to the fence, because I'm scared some half-drunk elephant, who's most likely very angry as well, comes running out of nowhere. actually really struggling to find them. They're either all decomposed or the squirrels have eaten them. So it's kind of out of season for them. But this is what it looks like. It's basically just the seed pod of the bushwillow tree, and it's the perfect size for a Christmas decoration. I keep hearing thunder, and it's actually really concerning because we have had so much rain this season, and it's already so early in summer, and the river is so full, and it's never this full at this time of the year, and I am so scared we just end up with the floods that we had in the beginning of the year. And it's also so green, if you couldn't tell. But anyway, I want to continue to look for these bushwillows, but I think this is going to take a while. This is what all the ones that I'm finding look like. And they're a little old and floppy and scraggly, and they definitely don't look like a Christmas decoration. Well, that's convenient. There is a big storm on the way. Okay, I think I found enough, and I also found a Christmas tree that I'm very happy with. So I'm going to try and paint these and also make a few other Christmas decorations before the storm rolls in, because it looks like it's going to be a big one. These African wattle flowers are so pretty. I don't know if you guys can hear the bees, but there's just this constant hum of insects. Okay, so now I am going to paint these, and then I also made these salt clay ornaments, and I printed out these cute little pictures of African animals in Christmas hats. Because why are we hanging snowmen on our trees when it's like 30 degrees outside, when you can hang a picture of a hyena with a Christmas hat on your Christmas tree? So I'm going to show you guys how I made these, and then I'm going to start painting. Okay, welcome to my reading nook. It's a little while later now. Actually, no, it's a lot later. And I finally finished up with all the Christmas decorations, and now it's time to decorate. So this is the tree I chose. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's slightly bedazzled. I stuck a whole bunch of gold dust on it, and now there's gold dust absolutely everywhere. I don't know if you guys can tell, but
It's like on my eyelashes now. Everywhere I look, it's just like little gold flecks. But anyway, now I'm gonna start decorating.
I didn't want to use all the common animals that you see on everything everywhere like lions, although I did use an elephant, giraffe, and zebra, but I wanted to give the more niche animals a chance, so I made one with a vervet monkey, civet, and a spotted hyena as well.
Okay, so it's the next day now, and now I'm going to bake some Christmas cookies. This is kind of a tradition. I make them every year, and they're very simple. I also usually make a Christmas cake, and I did make one this year. And it's quite a process. You have to soak the fruits for a few days before you can even incorporate it into the batter. And then you have to bake the cake for like 3 hours. And I did this, and I left it on the counter to cool. And then a monkey broke in, took one bite of it, decided he didn't like brandy, peed on it, and left. So we won't be having a Christmas cake this year, but at least we'll have Christmas cookies.
So I decided to actually use a recipe book this time. I feel like we all have these poor little books gathering dust because it's just so easy to find a recipe online. But there's something about flipping real pages that makes baking feel a little more romantic. Anyway, I started by measuring out 3/4 of a cup of butter, added 1.5 cups of caster sugar, and creamed it until it was light and fluffy. I then added 1 egg and 1 egg yolk. Then I mixed in a teaspoon of vanilla and 2 2/3 cups of flour. I brought the dough together, let it chill for 30 minutes, rolled it out, cut the cookies, and baked them at 180 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes. I got it. Nothing. This is the river frog. Go check Barbie night. Actually, this is a nice strike. today we're going to head off to the Sky House because we have an appointment in town early tomorrow morning, and because we live so far there's just no ways we'll make it in time, and the Sky House is just a little bit closer, so we're going to head over there today, and I thought I'd bring you guys along, so let's go. Once we arrived, we decided to go for a walk and came across a friendly leopard tortoise. They get their name from the spotted pattern on its shell, which looks a bit like a leopard's coat. What's also cool is that each tortoise has its own unique pattern, a bit like a human's fingerprint. Now that the rains have returned, we'll be seeing a lot more tortoises around. During the colder months, tortoises don't actually hibernate. Instead, they go through what's called brumation, a kind of slow-down state where they move very little and eat less. If you were wondering where they go in winter, they usually just shelter in thick vegetation to stay safe and conserve energy. I just love tortoises. I find them so cute and comical, and I'm so glad we found this one. So we went for a walk, had dinner, and now we're going for another night walk. On our walk, we came across an adorable little rain frog, and what's interesting about them is that unlike most frogs that hop, they actually walk because of their round little bodies and short hind legs. They also spend most of their time underground and only come out when it's wet or after rain. And when they feel scared, they puff up like a little balloon. So this is a king cricket. They're also sometimes called Parktown prawns, a very unusual name. Even though they look a bit scary, they're actually completely harmless unless for some strange reason you were to eat one. They don't actually chirp like regular crickets because they don't have wings. Instead, they communicate by drumming on the ground. They can also make hissing, squeaking, or rasping noises as a warning by rubbing their hind legs against their abdomen as a defensive sound. After that, we spotted a bibrons gecko, and of course my brother just had to catch it.
There's like 2 of these. There's another one.
Did you catch him?
Mm.
Oh, what's that? Stand there.
This one can sting and it hurts.
So
So you have to take him properly.
you only get one chance.
Yeah, there you go.
Look at this little hair.
Bobjan. You don't remember? Bobjan.
Where's Bob?
The white and black ones, yeah.
We then came across a parabutha scorpion, one of the most venomous scorpions in southern Africa. Don't worry, my brother didn't try to catch this one. Their fat tail holds venom strong enough to be dangerous to humans, but like most animals, they'll only hurt, or in this case, sting you if they feel threatened. A little while later, we came across a water scorpion, which isn't actually a scorpion at all. It's an insect that lives in the water and has a long skinny tail that looks like a stinger, but it's actually a breathing tube, a bit like a snorkel. They're ambush predators and sneak up on insects in the water like this unfortunate beetle.
never going to be
What's
able
that
to.
there? What's that there? What's that there?
Oh, staples.
Oh my gosh, those things are savage. They like ate that thing up in seconds. I was going to finish off the video there, but the next morning we came across a giant African rock python that my dad and brother caught. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Yeah.
Thank you.